All right, there we go. We are live right now. Come on. Just give it a sec. All right. We are live and we are rocking and we are rolling. Hi, everyone. It's me, Night Lord 131, and I hope you guys are doing really great today. Let's change up the color. And we'll rock with this for right now. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing really good. I decided to change it up again and play Minecraft, and this time we are getting near the end of our pool project. So that's what the plan is. We're just going to finish up this project and then we will, just survive afterwards. We're almost there. Like, before I go and jump for some water over there, well, here, this is how far we are into the project. My plan is to eventually get all of that, and, we'll make sure to have everything complete by the end of today's stream. But before we do that, let me just turn this down. Yeah, okay. Also, I got a cool drink. Let me just turn on the light. I got this Monster drink, Monster Energy drink, Ultra Red, White, red, white, and blue. I normally don't drink Monsters, but hey, the United States is turning 250 this 4th of July, so I said, why not? And plus, I'm going to keep this can afterwards and then be like, oh, yeah, that was a pretty huge moment. So let me just try this in front of you. I'm going to try this drink, give you my thoughts, and we'll see. We'll see if I like it or not. Let me check with a specific blue raz. Let me try. I got this at Aldi today. That's actually good. I actually liked that. That was delicious, actually. That is actually really awesome. Excuse me. Again, I normally don't drink I say energy drinks. Like, I'll drink either a soda or I will also drink like a well, of course, water and recently more grape juice. And occasionally like a boba tea and mocha and chocolate chocolate milk. But no, normally don't drink energy drinks. The only kind of energy drinks I like are Venom and Black Magic, which you used to buy those energy drinks, well, Black Magic, at Spencer's. And no, they got rid of the Black Magic energy drink at Spencer's at least my location. Maybe they haven't gotten rid of them all, but I enjoyed it. It was tasty. But we're not here to talk about energy drinks. We're here to finish this damn pool pot project slash body of water project. Oh, excuse me. By the way, I know that like in the last stream, I was how do you say, a little bit well, not really salty, disappointed, yeah, but this time I'll try to have like a better attitude, more positive attitude, and not, you know, give in to those kinds of things, you know. Uh-oh. All right, come on. Let's fix this. Okay. That's taken care of. There has to be a different way of filling this thing up. Well, I'm not entirely sure if there is another way, but hey, you know, we're trying our best, and that's what matters at the end, you know. And plus, this is gonna look amazing when it's all done. So, yeah. All right. This kind of has like a bit of a sweet flavor to it. Kind of like a little bit of a fruity taste to it. It even has like I say a little, well, not mission statement, but it has a little statement here on the side. It says "We the people," and they actually are acknowledging that they are a proud American company, and also like saying here that, just give me a sec, it's a little bit dark in here, but hey, as a show of appreciation to those who devote their lives to defend this great country, we created the new Ultra in honor. Nice. And then it goes on to say, like, give more of a description of the drink itself. Which, again, it's, you know, to commemorate 250 years of the United States. Which, honestly, that really is a huge milestone. Like 50 years from now, the United States will turn 300. 300 years. And that's kind of like really wild to imagine. Like to, you know, talk about, you know, the United States. You know, my home country here in the States. I think it's really fascinating, really is. Like when you take away, like, you know, things that divide Americans, which unfortunately those are things that are you know, it tends to tear us apart. I do think like it is really incredible that, you know, we've lasted, you know, 250 years. And like it just shows the progression of time and how, you know, we've persist. I think that's, you know, a very special thing. It really is. Like to imagine that in 1776 the United States fought at the time the world's largest superpower. You know, a small colony, well, small collection of colonies had like fought against then the world's most powerful empire at the time. Like, I don't know, I think that is certainly something to be like, wow. You know, compared to David and Goliath, like we were David and the and like Britain was the Goliath. And I don't know, it's definitely special. Absolutely. You know what I mean? It shows that the little guy can take down the big guy. And we had a civil war, and then like, you know, unfortunately some people in the country did not have like equal rights and like fought in order to have like equal representation and to be treated fairly. I think is also another like thing that makes the United States, I would say, like, how do you say, even in the dark times we still try to like, you know, progress and like live by those, you know, I'm trying to figure out the best word to put this because I really do want to like, you know, like briefly talk about this because I don't know, it again, it kind of does make me think, wow, that is incredible. Like we have principles and we need, like, how do you say, like everyone has like human dignity. And, you know, we haven't always kept up to that promise of human dignity and everyone having freedom. But, you know, it just shows that at the end, like, you know, those fundamental beliefs that make this country a, you know, not just like a superpower, but it's deeply, makes me really value that, you know. Yo, what's up? What's up, wilderness lad? I was just talking about how I think it's like wild that the United States is turning, well, will turn 250 actually. I bought a Monster energy drink, and it made me think about that actually. It's a really cool can right now. It has a little bit of a fruity taste to it actually. Mm. But yeah, no, I think it's really cool. What are you up to, wilderness lad? Red Bull is better. Mm, I haven't drank that much. Like, well, I don't really drink energy drinks. Period. Besides, um, let's see, Ener Venom alongside Black Magic, and also Bang. I've tried Bang once, and I did not really like enjoy it. No, it was not. But okay, but I would just say the Monster drink is a good one, kind of good. Red Bull is okay. But yeah. Excuse me. Trash. Mm. Well, to be fair, the only reason, like, besides like I like having like a curiosity about this drink, I did say to myself, I'll buy it, not just because I was wondering about the taste, but also like I don't know, the can itself looks cool, and I'll be like, 50 years from now, Red Bull and C4. I haven't tried C4, so I can't really comment. But no, like, again, I think it's really cool. Like, 50 years from now, the United States will become 300. Only two I will drink? I see, I see. Well, I hear, like, some people will, like, kind of like with alcohol, they will mix, like, soda in with, like, their energy drink, and, like, will, like, do, like, that type of testing. Honestly, like, not just with alcoholic drinks, but also with energy drinks. And I don't know if I'll have to test that sometime. Like, we'll do like a test sometime and like see what drinks would actually do well with each other. I don't know. It would be interesting. We might have to test that sometime. Okay, can I admit something actually? You guys are going to be thinking, oh, that's super lame. But when I was younger, and I did not know what energy drinks was, I thought that energy drinks were like alcohol. And I was like, I did not know that it wasn't alcohol, and I was like staying clear of energy drinks for that reason. I know that sounds stupid, but hey, it just showed that I didn't know, and like I don't know. It's interesting. But anywho, I'm trying to think. Ooh. Here, let me get that. There we go. Took care of a bot. Let's go. Have I told you guys how much I hate bots? I hate them so much. But, that's all. Is anyone doing anything fun this weekend? Anything cool, exciting, or just like, whatever. I just like hearing what people have going on, or, what they have plans for. Sleeping? Yeah, no, I get that, man. I get that. Well, I'm really excited for tomorrow because I'm going to go see the He-Man movie, Masters of the Universe. And I will like after I watch it, I'll tell you guys what I thought about it. And just like, you know, give a little bit of like where it was like, oh, I did not like it, I enjoyed it, that kind of stuff. Like, apparently it's not doing well, like the Masters of the Universe movie, which it kind of makes me think that not just people did not want this, did not want that movie, but maybe it makes me think that like the 80s are no longer a viable like place to get like rehash old IP, you know what I mean? Like old movies, old TV shows, like it's not really like getting people as much excited. But hopefully I'm wrong, because I would want to see like, He-Man and Skeletor and all those characters. I remember watching like He-Man on like Netflix, and I thought, well, it was cheesy, but I enjoyed the cheesiness of it, and I don't know. Hopefully, well, regardless, I think I'll have a great time. It's He-Man, for Pete's sake. He-Man is a cool dude. In Eternia and all that extra stuff. Okay, I'll put this right here. Do any of you guys like He-Man? Uh-oh. And also, I'm like next week I'm going to see the Reverend Horton Heat, and that will be really fun. It'll be my first ever like psychobilly show, actually. And then next Saturday I'm going to be streaming Maneater, which will be really cool too. There we go. I was wanting to like stream a bit earlier, but like, how do you say this? I like to stream a bit later in the day just because like it gives me time to like do everything I like need to do and just like take care of stuff. That's why I like streaming later at night. Like probably like on Saturday I will stream earlier, but we'll see. There we go. There we go. We need to get some extra water. Woo! Oh my god. That was terrible. I was trying to aim for the... for my little water stream. Oh well. But yeah. I'm trying to think. Ooh. Now this is looking much better. Much more safer. Awesome, okay. Ah. Fresh air, fresh oxygen, awesome. I'm trying to think. But yeah, no, we're not going to have any distractions. The plan is to just get like this project done. I'm, you know, just needing this done. So, you know. Oh yeah, by the way, I should probably say this just because you should mark it on your calendar. But on August 1st, I will be having my anniversary stream. Probably maybe at 5... No, not even 5. 6:40. 6:40. I'll make sure to mark it on my calendar too. But on 6:40 of August 1st, which I think that's a Saturday, I will be having my anniversary stream, and you all are invited. Of course you guys are. And yeah, no, we'll be celebrating my second whole year of content creation. YouTube, Twitch, the whole 9 yards. I would have been, I will now be doing this for at least like 2 years. 2 years straight. Which I think that's insane. You know what I mean? I think that's incredible. Like, to kind of give you guys like an idea on like my commitment, I've been like, how do you say? I've been saying to myself, oh, like, I'm not going to get anywhere with this like streaming stuff. But then eventually it like started like, you know, growing, just growing, and then like it gave me a huge confidence boost, and like I don't know, I think it's been a huge positive in my life, which not many people will relate to, but hey, that's okay. They don't need to relate. Well, they don't. Some people just can't understand. And that's okay, because we're all different. But, no, I'm probably going to, like, go out and celebrate with my family, and then just, like, hang out with you guys here on this world, because this is my longest running, like, series. Not just on Twitch, but over on YouTube as well. And, like, you know, this is where we've made a lot of memories, and I'm going to celebrate that. Maybe for, like, how do you say? Maybe for my 3rd year, I might do something a bit differently. But, hey, that's a whole year. That's a whole year that I can think about at some other time. But yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go and get this done. So yeah, mark it on your calendar. August 1st, around 6:40, and I'll make sure to, like, you know, post it over on Instagram in case any of you guys need, like, a reminder or anything else like that. So, ooh, hi. Okay. All right, there we go. Sorry about my dog. He loves barking. How well are we doing on time-wise? Okay. We're doing pretty good on time. The reason I say that, like, is because, like, I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting time. When it comes to, like, a project, like, you know, this can be better. There has to be a different way of, like, filling this faster. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Trying to think. Oh, you know, actually, I'm gonna. I found it really weird, but get this, guys. Yesterday, it was like a nice weather, like blue skies, like some clouds, you know, that kind of day. A couple minutes later, dark, like, clouds start forming in the sky, and then, like, oh boy, it started, like, coming down. It started raining aggressively, which, you know, that's not really that uncommon, but hail began to, like, rain down for, like, maybe, like, 4 minutes, and these, like, and the hail itself was, like, this, like, big, and that was, like, pretty insane. Then, like, the weather started to, like, how do you say? Like, the rain cleared up, and then it started pouring again. Which, honestly, like, the weather do be doing crazy stuff. That's just how it is. But no, it's been a long time since I've actually seen, like, hail, like, it, like, in person. Last time was all the way back when I was, like, living in Texas, and that's, like, more than a decade, even more than a decade ago. And it's, like, kind of crazy. Well, you know, actually, to bring up, like, my life when I was, like, living in Texas, on the outskirts of, well, not really the outskirts, but it's still a part of Fort Worth. But like, no, there was like several communities that would, like that lived on the outskirts, and like I have like really nice fond memories of like building snowmen. Like there was like this one year where there was like a bunch of snowfall, which when it comes to Texas, Texas is not known for like winter like aggressive winters. Like it gets chilly, yeah, but you know, actual snow. But I don't know, I remember those times very fondly. Made a big, and I mean big snowman. He was like huge. Like he was like the head was like this huge. And that was like fantastic. Well, honestly, to talk about snow a little bit, talk about snow during like the summer months, I know. Like I'm just basically trying to bring winter back faster at this point. But, whatever. Um I remember when I was about, let me think. That movie came out, like I'm thinking about like the time period that I was in Connecticut. The movie, um what's that movie called? I'm trying to think. Avengers Age of Ultron. At the time when that movie came out, I was 14, and I had like built a huge snow fort, and like it was like super cool. And the place I was living at the time was right on the North Atlantic Ocean. Like there was how do you say this? There was the nuclear reactor like in the area, like a little bit distant away. But then you had like the like community that lived on the beach, and that was like my whole thing. And boy, I had a grand old time just building that snow fort. Yeah, fun times, fun times, good times actually. I'm trying to remember about like what you guys might find interesting when it came to like that time in my life. Hmm. At when it came to like I'm trying to think. Maybe I should talk about my social life during that time. Sure, why not? Sure. Because why not? I'm just thinking about like, you know, sometimes it is a bit of a blur, but then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember those times like very distinctly. But like, I had like a couple friends in middle school during that time, and we had a good we had good time and everything, but we didn't really hang out outside of school. And most of my time, like when I would get back from school, I would like watch movies or in TV shows, and like there was not met that many people in my area that I could like hang out with, so I mainly just sticked to myself and like would go walking on the beach, and like you know my imagination like that during that time was like, well, it still is like really self-grandizing, I guess. I still have a really good one, but at the time, like, I created scenarios of like civilizations that would live on the beach line and like, you know, warring kingdoms, and I would go to the beach and just like envision like giant battle scenes, and like that was like you know, just me with my overactive uh imagination. Like I was like really influenced by Lord of the Rings, and like when it came to like those giant battle sequences, like that like really sticked with me. Really did stick with me. But yeah, no, most of my time when I would return from school, I would watch a movie on TNT or like the Sci-Fi Channel or some other like network like FX, or like I would watch Netflix, but when it came to YouTube, like some people watched like a lot of like gaming channels, and no, I watched those when I, you know, during that time as well, but I was really into like learning, mainly learning about like world history and like world mythologies, and especially, and I mean especially, more about monsters, because, you know, I would say if anyone really like got to like know more about me, like they would, like if you known me more for like, I say more than a decade, or just like anything like that, you would probably say, "Oh, has a big interest in monsters." And like, no, that's been like my, how do you say, my largest, well, one of my largest like interests that have persisted forever. Well, even if someone says, "Oh, do you get tired of his stuff?" No, I don't. That, like, that's the one thing. I've always had interest in that stuff, and not just monsters in general, but just like the supernatural. And that's also when I came into contact with the television show Supernatural, and I watched the hell out of that show. And obviously, when like the later seasons, like after season 11, like after season 11, when like, well, no, not even like season 11, when Jack as a character came onto the scene, like I like really stuck into there, like really stuck in, but eventually we got rid of cable and then just had like the streaming services, and I wasn't able to watch like the final seasons. But when it was on um but when it was on Netflix, I watched all 15 seasons. And that's been like a huge thing too. I don't know. I know I talked a lot about like my I say my younger years, but I don't know. Not, it's just something to like think about, you know, you could say. And honestly too, you know, like when it comes to like topics I love, and I mean love, like, how you say, world mythology with different monsters and gods, and like how do you say, like horror as well, like contributing to it, and just like, you know, all my interests in like pop culture and things like that, like, I don't know. Like, I have these kinds of conversations with, other people, but I don't really get, like, the chance to, like, really, and I mean, like, really just, like, talk about things like this. Maybe some of you guys can relate, but I don't know. I like hearing and talking all about this kind of stuff. Just because, like, it's always been a deep interest of mine. All of these kinds of things. And also like movies in general. Like, I would consider myself a film buff. I haven't seen all movies. Like, I haven't seen all of them. Like, all these different kinds of movies. Ranging from, like, action to, like, well, I've seen plenty of comedies and fantasy movies, sci-fi movies, horror movies, and comedies. Well, romances too, but, It's a good way. And, like, I've really have been just trying to get back into it. Like, we'll get back into the things I love because honestly, like, when it comes to, like, well, not just the internet, but just, like, how the world is right now. Like, I've grown more of an exhaustion of those kinds of things. And not, like, enjoying and appreciating everything about our world. And that's why, like, more lately, I've been trying to get back into, like, the things I love. Like, before these kinds of things, got to the level that have, like, well, no, not alienated, no. But, like, have, like, exhausted me. That's why I've been watching more movies lately, more TV shows, and just, like, you know, finding things that don't, like, make me think about our world. And I'm not saying with, like, not saying the world in general, but, like, just what people do. There has been, like, one topic that I've been, like, I say, like, kind of, like getting close to when it comes to, like, oh, this sounds pretty cool. I should look more into it. And, like, have a surface understanding of some of these things. But honestly, like, dinosaurs, like, with, like, Jurassic Park getting me, like, saying, wow, this is, like, yeah, it's a good movie. And, like, I say, like, the sequels and, like, Jurassic World, like, playing a part in it. But honestly, like, it's kind of really cool and interesting to me that, like, millions of years ago, there was, dinosaur. Well, I'm going to use the word dinosaur broad. Going to use the word dinosaur broadly because some people think of certain species as, like, a part, of that group. And I can't really blame them just because, like, people tend to, like, think of those kinds of creatures in, like, broad ways anyway. But like for example, a lot of like, how do you say, like pterodactyls, people think, oh, that's a dinosaur, but it's actually like a different classification of prehistoric animal. But it still gets like, it still gets called a dinosaur, but that's just because like when it comes to like categorization, in my mind, like people will put like the giant reptiles in with the other giant reptiles. You know what I mean? And you know, again, I think for like discussions about like those kinds of things specifically, I think it is appropriate. And you know, like when you look at like the riot, there's probably like a name for it that I'm not like besides like the Ice Age, but like to imagine like the rise of the mammals, like that's another interesting thing to think about when it comes to like ancient history. Like when it comes to like a pretty interesting animal that, how do you say, that I say to myself, wow, that's incredible. And it like shared like the earth, and like we shared the earth with this creature, like our species did with this specific one, but like terror birds, like they were huge birds. Think like an ostrich, but like with a bigger uh, beak, and they were like really incredible. And like in North America too, like there was like, I say, ancient camels, and like all these other wild, well, not wild, but like incredible species. I think that not just Jurassic Park, but just like all these other films that have like depictions of these um, prehistoric species, I think are really incredible. It makes me think that like, I'm not going to say like a sense of wonder, but it's made me say how, well, yeah, it really is like a sense of wonder. Like thinking it's incredible, because it really is. And it's also made me think that we need to appreciate more of the species we have in our current time. Like, you know, I was like, how do you say? I was having a talk with a friend, and we were talking about hunting. And I was basically like agreeing and saying that when it comes to hunting, like when there's a lack of a predator species to like balance out, let's just say with like deer and wolves, like if there is a lack of predator animals like wolves in order to like keep the populations of deers low, unfortunately deer can like eat up on the bark of trees and get those trees infected with a sickness, and then that would just be devastating to an environment. Like when it comes to like predator animals of all sorts, when it comes to like wolves, tigers, well, no, not even, well, yes, tigers too, sharks, bears. Like when it comes to like pop culture, they're sometimes depicted as villains, right? But the thing is that, well, even like spiders and like snakes are depicted as, villains, but no, they're just animals just filling out their purpose in this world by keeping populations down so that, natural, like, well, not natural disasters, but like, how do you say? I want to try to put this in the best way I can. Just to make sure that, let's just say, well, what I said with like, so the trees don't get, how do you say, like an illness. Like, yes, trees can get sick, and it's devastating and terrible. But that's also through like, how do you say, like invasive species. But it's for the betterment of like the how do you say, of the environment. And I was saying too that, how do you say, I don't like the people that parade around with like the animals that they kill and not treating that animal with respect. Like when it comes to like those people on like social media that take pictures of these animals and then parade around with them, I don't like those people because they don't have any respect for, the creatures that they hunt. But to compare it to like the type of, like, I even said this too. I've said that there are, folks out there who are more like, they'll use all the single animal, like the different parts from an animal, and not make sure, well, they'll make sure that every part is used and will like pay respects to the animal. And I said, with like a lot of like indigenous peoples in North America and other parts of the world, like they treat these animals with reverence and, to show respect to these animals. And that's why I said, as long as you treat these animals with respect, you don't like, don't do anything ineffable. Like, I don't see any real issue with it. Okay, I was kind of like twisting my words, well, tongue twisting when it came to like ineffable without ethics. Like, I'm sorry. Oh dear. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. Oh boy, this is taking off forever. Well, we are making good progress though. But let's talk about something else differently, you know? I think I've been pretty thorough on discussions of that kind of thing. Alright, there we go. But yeah, no, I can't wait to play Maneater. It'll be really fun. Really fun. I don't know how long. Well, it is like 7 hours, which I hear that's like, well, yeah, it is short. But honestly, I don't know. I just want to play it, and it'll be like really fun. By the way, when it comes to like, I'm trying to think. When it comes to things like, how do you say? Oh, excuse me. Like tattoos, like, you know, I will get like 2 this year, like 2 more, and then next year just like 3 more. Next year, especially, I'm gonna work it like more work on my 5s, which, you know, that'll be pretty good. Mm. I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, maybe this is not like. Well, actually, I'll just say, why not? When it comes to like, how you say, like tattoos, like some people out there will be like they're against tattoos. They're like, "Oh, you don't look good with that. You look terrible." Like, I don't really care what those people have to say when it comes to that kind of stuff. And like, I would say, like, it's definitely like you should think about what you get, obviously. But for me, they make me not just feel like cool. Okay, I'm sounding like those like people that you usually warn about, like, oh, don't do that. But you know, I'm just being honest. Like, I feel awesome. I feel awesome about that kind of thing, you know? Like when I went to the pool, like I got like a couple compliments, and like usually like I try to like not draw too much like attention to myself, because like I don't want to say like body dysmorphia. Well, it kind of is, but I do have like a form of it. But with tattoos, at least they don't make me feel that like that way as much. You know what I mean? But you know, also when it comes to like body dysmorphia, which, you know, how do you say this? Sometimes I'll look around, like around the, I'll see like people around me, and then like I try to say to myself, these people aren't, you know, like, how do you say, like, not losing sleep over it, no, but you know, they're just living their life, and you know, I try to like remind myself not to like, you know, beat myself over the stick, like beat myself over it, like that kind of stuff, like, you know. people can just be nasty when it comes to, like, you know, when it comes to, like, body dysmorphia kind of stuff. Like, you know, how do you say this? For people who may have that out there, all I can say, well, I don't know. I don't know how I would even approach that. But, you know, all of us are, you know, different, and that's okay. And all of us, you know, are beautiful in our own capacity, and you know, try not to let, you know, those negative thoughts on, like, your person, like, keep you from, like, you know, enjoying life. Like, I don't know if I should even say anything on it, but, you know, I do count myself to have that kind of thing, because, you know, I'm a little bit self-conscious in some capacities. But, you know, like, I think it's just trying to find, like, something that fits you. Fits you as in, like, it makes you feel more comfortable, and, like, you don't, like, you know, have, like, those negative thoughts that make you think in, like, those kinds of ways that are, like, where you're like, oh, like, I just feel terrible because of how I look and all that stuff. No, like, again, I feel like I need to say this, but, like, again, all of us are, you know, like, different, and, like, sometimes, like, sometimes we just have to find things that make us feel more comfortable, and, you know, try to work on those things to make us feel less no, not less comfortable, more comfortable. Sorry. I sometimes, like, when I try to, like, say something, sometimes, like, it will come out weirdly, or just, like, tongue twisted or whatever. Like, I hope you guys are getting the message I'm trying to, like, lay down, because, you know, I want to, you know, like, make everyone feel, like, when it comes to, like, my streams, I want everyone to feel comfortable, and, like, you know, not feel negative stuff. Like, I don't know. I just try. I try my best. It doesn't always pan out well, but hey, you know, that's what I'm just trying to do. Which at the end, you know, just trying to do it, and, you know, just spread some positivity. You know, that's a thing I feel like we need more of in this world. More positivity, less negativity. But okay, let's continue. But yeah, no, like, you know, just talk about, like, the stuff I want to get. Sometimes people will listen, but hey, like, besides, like, the ones I've said earlier, when it comes to, like, the chest tattoo and this arm tattoo, like, I say, like, the one underneath my misfits one, I'm planning on getting, like, when it comes to, like, my thighs specifically, I'm thinking maybe to get, like, how do you say, Bender from Futurama. Oh god, let me take care of that. I'll probably get that one next spring, Bender. And then for the summertime, maybe Ooh. Maybe I might try to get like another thing on this arm. You know, actually, I have a grand idea. What about for like next summer? I might get the creature from the Black Lagoon and get that one. And like the design I want to do for that one would be like the creature swimming, and he'll be on this arm. That'll be pretty cool. I would want him right next to Anubis, and I think he'll look awesome. Yeah. Or when it comes to like the Fies specifically, I don't know. I'll still have to like. The reason why I would want to get like those like how you say like Fies and like well specifically more Fies is that like wintertime you can't really go out and like get like how you say like a Fi tattoo for me personally just because like it's winter and like try wearing shorts in winter. That's not really a good idea. At least with like how you say like summertime, you don't have to like worry as much. There we go. But I am doing really good though. Look at this place. Give me a sec. Maybe when we get over to this side and this side, that's when I'll like maybe go into creative and finish the rest on that. Like, but I'm gonna finish this in survival. And again, I just am going to do that just because time-wise. Just because, like, I don't know, I want this project done. And, you know, I'm gonna... You could say it's cutting corners, but, you know, that's just what I'm going to do. And also, too, like, it is a bit tiresome to go down there and come back up and rinse and repeat. But that's just how it is. But no, this is gonna look awesome. And plus, while like when I am in like creative, I can like go down there, put in some how you say, put some coral down, and just like you know do like a better job making this place like an actual like living, like smaller like ecosystem, you know. But it is looking amazing. It really is. And also, I think this is like a good way of like going about things when it comes to this project. Ooh, what if I cover this entire thing with like, fill in the rest of the gaps with like wood, and then like, okay, it would take a lot of time, but in like creative especially, it will do a massive job. But like, it will be like a huge benefit. I wouldn't do it in survival though, just because it would be not just time consuming, but like, geez, I'm only a one-person operation here. Come on. And plus, when we get this done, we can add the pond here. And these little fish can have a huge, much huger space to roam. I mean, yeah, we'll just say that, because I was going to be like treading water, swimming. That wouldn't make sense. Alright. By the way, thank you guys for watching the stream. I do appreciate it. If you want to support me, you can always subscribe. If not, that's completely fine. If you want to support me for free, you can always watch the ads. And, that's also appreciated. But if you're watching this over on YouTube, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also join us here on Twitch, where, we have, like, fun stuff like this, where I play story games and all that good stuff. Again, thank you guys for all the support. But man, this project's going really well. This is how much we've got done. I think I'll use the extra wood and then just like cover the rest here, and then we'll start like slowly, like I say, like bringing the rest of the water that way. But here we go. There we go. And plus, we'll like light up the area a bit more, just so that, like, everything's fine and dandy. Plus, we can use this extra water for a different project. Excuse me. There we go. But trying to think. Hmm. I think I'll do this part now. Just so that, like, we don't, you know, have to do this small, tedious part. And when we get over here to where the pond, like, I'll open up a little area, and then these guys can, like, start, like, exploring. And I might actually, like, not close off this area, no, but just, like, here. Like, make it a part of the larger pool. Alright, give me a sec. Oh, okay. We are getting rid of a lot of wood, which is good. Ooh. By the way, I'm really excited to see the Reverend Horton Heat. That will be so much fun. If any of you guys haven't, like, heard of the Reverend Horton Heat, they are from Dallas, Texas. And they are, like, incredibly fun. They are like a rockabilly slash psychobilly band, and they're just overall just a grand, like, super fun band, all about just having fun, and like they have like very purposely silly songs. Like, there's one song they have called Cowboy Love, and it's like a really good like funny song, and it's basically a interracial gay bar song, and like it's not poking fun at or anything. No, it's just like, you know, creating a scene where they're like, oh yeah, you know, this kind of thing happened. And it apparently is based on like actual events, and like, you know, I thought it's a good one. They also have like good songs, like it's Martini Time and Whip Love and, well, Love Whip. That's what it's called. Love Whip. And they just have like a bunch of really good ones. And their like latest song is Rock and Roll Now. Which is really cool. Really fun one too. And let me teach you how to eat. Teach you how to eat. How to marinate the meat. Marinate the meat. Let me teach you how to eat. Teach you how to eat. And they formed back in 1986, actually. I would dress up like a greaser, but I don't think I'm in the budget to, like, well, no, you can like do that like stuff on a budget, but I don't know. Maybe when I go to like another psychobilly show, maybe I can like, you know, fully like do it, like fully get dressed. But yeah, no, probably next time. Let me teach you how to eat. Teach you how to eat. By the way, I actually found like a really cool live performance of the Reverend Horton Heat. And like, it's so great. It's so great. Basically, in the live performance, like I say, Lemmy of Motorhead, like, was like friends with the Reverend Horton Heat, and the lead vocalist of the Reverend Horton Heat, like, he gives us, like, he tells the audience about like their interaction, and like, it was like, if I'm going, like, how do you say it? I'm trying to summarize it because you would actually have to hear it talked about from, you know, that people. I'll actually provide a link to that, like, you know, performance, like, it's, you know, the cover, but they do a cover of the Ace of Spades by Motorhead. Not just is that song a great one by Motorhead, but also like to hear their version of it. I loved it. And also too, Motorhead, who doesn't love Motorhead? Motorhead's so sick. If you wanna gamble, you do. The Ace of Spades. The Ace of Spades. Yeah. God, Lemmy is such a legend. He is. Give me a sec. Creative. This will make my job a lot more easier. Alright, there we go. We have to be very, well, not very careful, but I'm trying to, like, get this all wait. Okay, it's looking good. Wait. Okay. Crap. There we go. They like they like this area. That's awesome. I'm happy that they're happy. All right. Perfect. All right, let's see. When we get to this part, like, then it's like smooth sailing from here. Whew. Can you imagine how long this would take? I think it would take way too long. Uh-oh. There we go. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there, everyone. All right. And we are officially there. I might have to put a... Well, actually, no, not a fence. I want to put like an aviary somewhere. So I can have like, you know, birds and other creatures that fly. There we go. You see how big? Oh my gosh, look at this place. There we go. I did take care of my, how you say, like, shopping, like, Saturday shopping today. Like, usually on Saturdays, I do go out and, like, get groceries and, you know, all that extra stuff with my family. And, no, we actually took care of it, and it was, good. Now we don't have to, like, do that. But next Saturday, oh boy, we're gonna have a good old time. A grand old time, actually, with Maneater. Which, again, that will be next Saturday. And we're gonna have a good old time, you know what I mean? We're gonna get revenge and, you know, all that good stuff. And what's cool about Maneater as a game is that it is a, you actually play as a bull shark, which, you know, is a departure from, like, the typical, I say great white shark, actually. Okay, let's try that again. Wow. I will put, like, two, well, no, not pillars, but, like, watchtower things, just so that, like, I can, like, survey the area if I want to get, like, a sense of scale. You know what I mean? Because this world is massive. And everything we've done should be, like, appreciated from a, you know, elevated area. I'm also probably gonna play, what's that called? Like, off stream, I'm gonna probably play either, Sea of Thieves and maybe Halo Infinite again. Listen, when it comes to, like, Halo, like, Doom Eternal and those games, I do replay them. And it's just because, like, they're not just fun, but, like, I don't know, I don't need to really think as much on, like, stuff. I can just, like, chill and kill demons and aliens. And when it comes to Sea of Thieves, I just love, like, being on the open ocean and just, like, exploring. Yes, that's a big one, but also just, like, you know, being on a ship. That's, like, another big thing for me when it comes to, like, why I like Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is just, like, you know, just fun. Not just to, like, explore, like, well, yes, explore, but mainly to, like, you know, be on the beautiful ocean and just, like, lead the ship. Like, when it comes to, like, playing that game, I do like playing it with other people, yes, but when it comes to just, like, you know, sailing, I like to do it alone. And also, that game is extremely pretty. I'm going to be really honest with you, too. Ooh. Sorry. But yeah, no, this will probably be uploaded tomorrow. Yeah, this will probably be uploaded tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon. I'll try to wake up early and then like upload this just so that like, you know, if anything pops up I can address it, because I'm going to the movies tomorrow night and I won't be able to like, when it comes to like uploading these to YouTube, I used to be like more hands-on. Like I will be there and like sit there and watch to make sure that if anything pops up, like an issue with the uploading, I'll sit there and fix it. But for the most part, I will upload these and then like make sure, well, I'll just upload them and go about my day and not have to like babysit it, you know? All right. Here. Just like some. Yeah, just some kelp too. Well, they kind of actually blend in with each other, so probably not that. Sure. Okay. That's weird. Let's just put some seagrass down. All right. This is looking beautiful, don't you guys think? Beautiful. All right. Vines. Do you want some lights? Lights, camera, action. Blue eggs? Oh, interesting. All right, now we choose the species. We're gonna probably put like some cod in here. Some salmon. Well, we have some tropical fish in here. And then we'll put like 2 Nautilus. Okay. There we go. And then just 2 of these guys. And maybe just like 1 squid. Well, 3 squid. Like normal squid. Look at this place. That's incredible. Alright, I'm probably gonna put it right here. I'm gonna make it out of stone. Yeah. Well, let's just put it over here then. I think then we get like a better view. Alright. We're gonna make it open here. Alright. So when you come up here, you can see the pool. You can see this area. We'll have something here, and then we'll put some trees over there, and then we'll like clear out that part and make it into something else. But yeah, no, this is gonna look awesome. There we go. All right. Okay. Oh, here. And now let's add this. All right. Let me find. We'll use this to make it look amazing on the outside. There. All right, where's some light? Okay, we can add this. Let me find a fence. Here. There we go. All right. There. Ooh. What happened to these guys? Oh, well. They're dead. All right. All right, there we go. That went awesomely. All right. Here, let's go. Man, this place looks incredible. It really does. I should probably put like another tower thing over here, just so that I can have like a sense of scale when it comes to like, you know, Utopia itself. Oh, sure, okay. Okay. I'll have to figure out a new project I can work on. Or just like, I don't know, explore, I guess. I'm not sure, but now we have a lot. Well, no, I'll figure something out to do with this extra water. And all these buckets of water. And again, thank you guys for watching. Watching the stream. Here, let's get some more of these guys. Oh, look! One hatched. Let's just sit here and watch and wait until they hatch, actually. Oh, excuse me. Oh, look. Another one. Awesome. I'll keep this for right now over there. Well, in my inventory. I feel incredible, guys. I feel amazing. Oh, I cracked my neck. Oh, dear. Hey, you and you. Come on. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That sucked. Maybe next time, guy, I'll give you another one. Let's see. So now we have 6. Then we have a couple more. So, boy, we are going to have a huge population of these guys. And honestly, I like these guys, the sniffers. They're really cool creatures. Really cool to have around. You know, actually, I came up with an idea about what we could do with the, like, what we could do. Let me go over there. Like, over here, maybe, like, we can go and build a larger refuge for the sniffers. Uh-oh. You know what I mean? Like, this is a little bit congested. And I think maybe we can, like, carve out the mountain. Like, carve into it. And then, like, make a huge cave. And make, like, a bigger area for, like, the sniffers. And, like, the other creatures to, like, enter. Well, we'll make it purposely so that, like, these ocelots can leave, and so that the sniffers will be the only ones to, like, live in this area. Like, we'll carve into there and, like, make a giant hollow space. That'll probably be, like, the next project, but I'll work on that some other time. Or, like, I can, like, build the plans to do it. And then I can build, like, another giant living space for them. So, I don't know. I feel like that would be a good idea. Now we have our 2 horses, which is awesome. Alright, there we go. Let me get some food in my system. Carrots, and we'll take some bread too. Because now I just want to go like see the rest of the project. And well, no, I want to see the rest of the pool. That's what I want to do. And probably like that's like it will be the thumbnail, which, you know, I feel like it would be cool to show like that everything is complete. All right. Here, let's just get up here. And this is where it will be. Yeah, that... Here, let me just do it one more time. All right. That will be the thumbnail. Yeah. It's a pool that's infested. It's a pool that's infested with different living aquatic creatures. So. Yeah. All right. We're almost there. Out there, I'm planning on also building like a huge village, kind of what I did with like the one on the main mountain. But when we get like, we're gonna do a huge bunch of construction, and I'm gonna make it a massive village, and it's gonna like be like right there to here, like maybe to that jungle tree over there, like maybe there, and it will go all the way to like where that one tree is. And like I don't know how like long it will be, like the actual size of it, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Uh, take it by ear. I think that'll be like a huge undertaking, but hey, it will be possible. All right, I think that'll be all for today's stream. Let me just head back home and I'll end it. But again, thank you guys for coming. I'll be back again on Saturday. And again, make sure to come to my anniversary stream on August 1st at 6:40 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, yeah, I'll make a post, then like post it so that like people can be aware of it. And again, if you can't like join the event, like the anniversary, you can always like watch it for free on YouTube. But you can watch, like, I don't like when it comes to like streams, like some streamers will like like put like a what's that called? a paywall on like their past event, like not even events, but their streams. I don't believe that because like people can do that and that's fine if they do it. But I don't know. I feel like not everyone has like the cash to like unlock like a paid stream. Like especially like on Twitch, that's like again, like those things are like temporary, so I understand maybe why some people do that, but especially on YouTube, like there would be some like where you have to become a member and like compare it to like a YouTube to my understanding gives you like some like kind of like with Patreon where you can set up your um like how much you want people to like subscribe, like join in their case when it comes to like paid entertainment. But I don't know, when it comes to streams, I would never do that. I would never do that. Because again, like much like when it comes to like if a person subscribes to me, which, I would appreciate it immensely, but not everyone has like that cash to like throw around, especially when it's, difficult to live, which, I'm never going to like push people to like, you know, subscribe if they can't or if they don't want to. If you want to, I would appreciate it. But again, that's all I have to say on that. Let me just go to this right here. All right. But again, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I had a really great time just like chatting about different stuff and, just overall just talking about things. And yeah, no, I hope you have a great um, night, great day, wherever you are in the world or whenever you're watching this over on YouTube or here on Twitch temporarily. And again, I hope you all, and I hope all of you have like stay happy, healthy, and everything between, and also just be good people too. We need more people being good and treating people nice, and not push more negativity out there in the world. So again, thank you again for tuning in. I will see you guys on Saturday. If you want to know when exactly I'll be streaming, follow my Instagram if you haven't already. That's where I'm the most active, and that's if you want to know what's going on in my life, that's where you can go follow me. So again, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. All right. See you guys. Bye.